Hey, what up, y'all? This is your boy Ken. You're watching The View from the Game. Thank you for tuning in. If you're on Instagram, you watch me live. I am the actual man behind the Instagram. Yes, I do answer my DMs. When you DMing me. Hey, but check this out, man. While I got your attention, make sure you go get my book, The 48 Laws of Game. That's right, The 48 Laws of Game. You can get it at audible.com. All you got to do is type my name, Pimpin' Ken, when you get to audible.com. And this book, as well as my other book, The Art of Human Chess. This is the book everybody's talking about. This is the book that your daddy should have taught you about. Everything that your daddy didn't teach you the game, it's in this book right here. And The Art of Human Chess, a study guide to win, teach you how to maneuver, teach you how to finesse, teach you how to play chess, teach you how to outsmart your enemy. You got to get my books, classics. Hey, man, also, man, make sure you subscribe, like, and make sure you let everybody know through notification where to come and get this joint at by sharing. And also, I am also the proprietor and the owner of HHF Mag, HHF Clothing, HHF Awards, and HHF Radio. Hey, man, stay tuned, man, and go to thehiphopfraternity.com and check us out. And every Monday, we're at the Ice Bar. That's right, 5456 Fayetteville Road, Atlanta, Georgia. Every artist get in free. Every A&R get in free. Every executive get in free. Everybody is free. Artists get to perform for free, and you get to park for free. The only free game in town. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Ken Ivy, a.k.a. Pip again. Once again, you're watching The View from the Game, where, you know, we got real people in real game. So I have a very special guest today. Most of y'all might know him from being from Vegas, but I found out today that he's from Oklahoma. He don't need no introduction, but I'm gonna let him introduce himself and say a few words to the introduction words to the people, Mr. Capone.
And y'all already know what the time it is and what around it is, man. It's Tko Capone out there south side of T-Town, Tulsa to be exact. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the almighty drip Messiah, the one that your girlfriend desire, but she gotta have what it required to join the empire. You know what's going down like that, you know, with my boy Pimpin' Ken, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Hey, man, like I always say, more game than man Kenny got poker beans and more flavor than now.
Yes,
hey, you got to have what it required to be in my empire. You know, in other words, you got to sock it to my pocket like a rocket. So, brother, you know, I've been watching you for a minute now, right? I see you on Beagle. I met you at the Hood Rich Fair. And when I first saw you, man, I saw you with some beautiful young ladies.
Yes, indeed.
They was in pocket, they was in order. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
They wasn't looking at nobody. And I was like, man, who was that cat? You know what I'm saying? What's up with him? You know, but before we get into what's up with you, man, I'm going to go back to Oklahoma, Tulsa.
Okay.
So, you know, most of us, when we think of Tulsa, Oklahoma, we think of Black Wall Street.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
so
indeed.
So, growing up in Tulsa, did that legacy ever come across your table? Did y'all talk about that? Was that a folklore in the town?
I'm going to keep it real. In the later years, in the recent years, that's what has been being talked about. But growing up, it was just gangster. A lot of gangsters. You know, a lot of gangster stuff going on. You know, growing up in Tulsa, that's all we got our own show, you know, the First 48. We always on the First 48. It was always just, you know, a lot of violence and things of that nature. A lot of people went about no unity or no peace and nothing like that. It really just kind of like divided the city, you know what I'm saying? The demons of the past, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's what they try to do in the first place.
And, you know, that's kind of cold-blooded for you to say that, because most of us who are students of history and understand, you know, what happened in 1920, you know, when those white supremacists came through and killed over 600 black folks. I know they say 300, but I found out that it was 300 that wasn't accounted for.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, we praise Tulsa, Oklahoma all the time. So one day I was riding on my way back home from Texas, and I had to go through Oklahoma. So I ventured over, and I went over to Tulsa, and man, when I seen it, I was surprised. I said, is this what everybody's talking about? And I seen what you seen. I seen the gangster shit. I seen hood. You know, I seen niggas walking around looking crazy. I seen J's everywhere. You know, junkies. You know, it was like, wow. You know, but we always told, you know, to look at Tulsa, Oklahoma, you know, as the blueprint for black folks. Because this was a black community that owned everything. But you know what a lot of people don't understand, brother? You coming from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I know you've seen all the racism and white supremacy and everything growing up, right? A lot of people don't know, man, is everything that they point the finger at, every time they tell us to look at something, is always something that they destroyed. They say, go look at Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street, but the backstory is that they killed 600 African Americans. The same thing with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King everywhere, black, white, but the backstory is that a white supremacist killed him. You know, so as a young guy growing up, you know, I know you went to elementary and high school.
Born and raised.
So they never told the narrative from a different perspective. Was the people, the teachers, and the African Americans, were they proud of Tulsa back then?
It's interesting, man, because, you know, me growing up being misguided myself, you know, even if they was teaching me, I probably wasn't even paying attention. You know, I was, you know, the way that I grew up, you know, not having a father in the household, not having no structure and things of that nature. When I was at school, I wasn't even worried about the academics. I was trying to chase females and do certain things. So maybe if they did, you know, have that class that day talking about it, you know, I didn't hear about it. You know, it wasn't, you know, they was trying to teach us other people's history and stuff like that, but it wasn't really about Tulsa, you know.
Right. So it's a myth. It's just some shit they're just coming up with recently. So
well, it's been, you know, it's been like a lot of police brutality. Speaking of police brutality, you know, in 2016, you know, the same year that my brother Hustle 3 times got killed, rest in peace to Hustle 3 times, a man by the name of Terrence Crutcher had got killed by a police officer out there. And since all these people started getting killed by police officers, it's beginning back sensitive about the subject and things of that nature, you know, and they've been shining a lot of light upon it. You know, the 1921, you know, massacre that we call it, you know, and things of that nature. So just as recent, in the recent, probably like, I would say in the recent like 8 years or so, you know, it's been a little bit more sensitive about the subject. But yeah, you know, it wasn't really like that going up. It wasn't really just teaching that stuff, or at least I didn't hear about it a lot.
So when I hear you talk, you know, is that penitentiary talk? You know, meaning that you learn all that game and wisdom in the joint, like I did, you know, because all I did was read books when I was in the penitentiary, or was you a good student?
You know, I would say, I think my trial and error taught me everything. Trial and error going through it. And what a lot of people don't understand about me, what makes me, I'm very multifaceted. Like, I know the streets, I know the church. I was in church. I was even a gospel rapper at one point in my life. Like, people don't even know that. This is my first time seeing this. You know, so from knowing God on a spirit, on a religious level, to the streets, to being with the dope dealers, being with the gangsters, being with the pimps, being with the hustlers, going to prison, getting out. You know, life has taught me a lot of things, and then I start educating myself on books. Like, I read a lot of books. Like, my favorite books is like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, or Eckhart Tolle's book called The Power of Now. So like, I read a lot of things with mental health, dealing with the mind and manifestations and things of that nature. So just using my street knowledge, you know, with some book knowledge, and that's why I'm polished like this.
So you young, you growing up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Pops ain't around, right? Pops ain't in the house, right?
Nah, never met him to this day.
Never met Pops. And you got any brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I got sisters. I got 3 sisters, and I'm the only boy. I was the youngest.
So when do you come off the porch, when you say, okay, fuck this shit, I'm gonna give me some money, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna be a gangster? You know, what year that started?
And this is gonna sound so cliche, but it's just my life, it's my story. I didn't even choose the game. You know, the game, when I say the game chose me, it really did choose. All right, so back in 2011, you know, I was doing my thing with Riff Raff. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Riff Raff, but he be doing the stuff with the music and shit like that. We was blowing up all over World Star, whatever. But I was like, you know, on my square shit at this time, and I was in a 3-year relationship with a female back in Oklahoma City when I had moved to Oklahoma City. And long story short, we broke up. My little heart was broke, and one of my videos called Louis Gucci had went viral. It had went viral all over World Star, all over YouTube, and a female from Las Vegas, this little Romanian / Caucasian female, she was a little bit older. She had hit me up, and she was like, "I seen you on World Star, and I want to, fly you out here and take care of you. And, I'm green, and I just got out of a relationship. And she showed me that she lived in a mansion. She was driving a Benz. And I'm like, Vegas? I ain't never been to Vegas before. She said, well, I'm going to fly you out here. And the next day, she flew me out here. Out here, but she flew me to Vegas. And I get to a mansion. I'm like, okay, this is really what it is, And so the second night, the first night she had chilled with me, but the second night she like, I got to go to work. And I said, so what you do? What you do for a living? How you get all this nice stuff? She said, I'm a working girl. And my square ass thinking that like, oh, she a working girl? Oh, she like I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? I was wet behind the ear. I ain't gonna front to you. So I'm like, okay. So then the next day, she was getting ready for work again at night, and then she had some lady friends over. And I'm like, she's like, well, I'm a working girl plus I strip. I'm a working girl plus I strip. Also, you're a stripper. She's like, yeah, I'm a stripper too. And she kept on putting that two to it. I'm like, well, working girl and you strip. So make a long story short, after that, she kind of like introduced me to the lifestyle. I've always heard about it. People always say like, man, you a ladies man and blah, blah, blah. But at this time, like I only love music. I wasn't on nothing else, but I was a broke rapper. I was a broke rapper trying to make it. And she came in and she gave me some money. And I feel like I hit the lottery because I didn't ask her for it or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it was kind of like, it was over.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. When she started letting me know the ins and outs of certain things from that perspective.
Back up a little bit. When you caught your first case?
I caught my first case 2014 after I moved. After I was deep down in the game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you want to talk about what you go to jail.
2014. So in 2014, I was still blowing up with my music, still doing my thing, but I used to always try to help niggas around me and shit like that. And it's true what they say, man. You gotta watch the ones you try to help or whatever. But I had this little young nigga, I ain't gonna say his name or nothing like that, and I allowed him to come live with me or whatever to get him off the streets. He was on probation at the time doing his thing, and I had my ladies taking care of everything. I had 9 at the moment. I had nine of them. And he knew he couldn't touch them. He was like, well, if I bring this one girl in, it was a white girl that was 18. He's like, if I bring her in, I don't know nothing about, that getting money stuff. I just need somebody I can cut on. And she said she was strip so she can contribute. And boom, boom, boom. Man, the girl wasn't in the house more than 24 hours and I'm facing life, 10 to life, because the girl said that she woke up and she felt like she was raped in my home. You see what I'm saying? So she said she felt like she was raped in my home. And I wasn't going to tell them, they was in there running trains on the little broad, him and the little, they was doing their whole little thing and stuff like that. They didn't have no evidence upon me or anything. They swiped me, didn't come back with no DNA or anything like that. But at the end of the day, make a long story short, I had to fight that. You know what I'm saying? I had to fight that. I went to go sit down, and they ended up, that nigga ended up being fouled. That nigga ended up trying to capitalize off me, trying to take the girls out my house. It was just crazy. A lot of stuff came from that. Like the same nigga that I opened up my home to
was the one that crossed you.
Was the one that was crossing me.
They said with Pimp again, friendship in.
Yeah. It was just crazy, because it's like, damn, I don't even know this white girl. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
You get no money. You getting all the action,
nothing.
all the time, all the charges.
Yeah, no nothing. So what they ended up doing is, because I'm talking over the phone. Keep in mind, this is my first time being locked up, and I'm being locked up and I'm facing life. So imagine being locked up for the first time and facing life. Well, 10 to life. That's what it carries, 10 to life. So I'm on the phone talking to my people, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna sue. They know I didn't do this, because it was certain things that was exposing on Facebook. Like, okay, let's see if we can get some money and do a book or do something like the dude was sloppy. You know what I'm saying? They had evidence I didn't do it, right? But they didn't want to let me out. You know what I'm saying? Because they put it like the bail at $850,000 or something like that. So they kind of try to railroad me so I can try to take a charge. So They kept on trying to come with deals. I'm like, man, I ain't taking no deals because y'all ain't doing me no favor. You know, they're like, well, let's just give you first they said a 1 to 3. Then they said a county year. I'm like, look, I'm not taking nothing because y'all not doing me no favors. Like, I'm not about to cop to something that I didn't do, right? Mm-hmm. So then they came back to me. I'm trying to get a speedy trial. They keep on delaying my stuff. So then they finally had the trial date set. It was like 6 months. At this time, it was like 6 months of me being up in there. Mm-hmm. I was supposed to go on that Monday. They come to me on a Friday, right before that Monday, and said,
charges drop.
No, they didn't say no charges drop. Mm-hmm. They came to me and said, look, I got an offer you can't refuse. We can give you 5 years probation. Drop everything down to a coercion. You don't have to register as no sex offender, anything like that. If you take this deal, you don't got to go to trial Monday, of course. You take this deal and you get to get out. And I said, no, I'm not competent, nothing that I didn't do. On Monday, I'll see y'all Monday. So then Monday comes up, I wake up, they put the chains on me. And it turns out I get down there in the bullpen, the lawyer comes in and say, well, somebody else slipped into your spot because we thought you was gonna take the deal. So I said, somebody slipped into my spot. So when like, why we keep on doing this? Like, why y'all trying to continue to delay this stuff? I said, so when can I go to court? Like, when can we do this? When can I go to the trial? This is my life. I'm an innocent man. I'm sitting up in here. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be around these musty ass niggas and all this stuff going on, shit like that. So then they tell me it'll be another 7 months out. We had to push it for. I have to sit in there another 7, so it would have been a total of almost 14 months. And so I'm frustrated. I go back into my cell. I get on the phone with my mother, you know, and I'm praying. I'm talking to her. I'm just like, you know, what do you think I should do? I don't know if it's my pride. Do you think I should, if I take this deal and they drop it down to a coercion, I can come on right now? But what my lawyer had told me that kind of convinced me, she was like, do you understand that if you take it to trial, you're not guaranteed to get off of this? Not only that, the girl was 18 from Gary, Indiana, and they put me with a white judge that was from Gary, Indiana. And she said, I just now lost a case like this. The dude was innocent, and I don't want to see you go down. They're trying to just give you 5 years probation. I'm not telling you what to choose, but just because you go to trial doesn't mean you're going to get off, and you need to be doing 10 to life, and they're trying to give you home. So they kind of like fighting the fuck out of me, to keep it real. So I prayed about it, talked to my mother and my girl that's still with me to this day. That was like, man, we just want you home. We don't want to risk that shit. And the way I thought about it was like, man, it's been shit that I did in my life that I did do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's just a karma coming back a different way. God has given me a way out. Pride comes before a fall. So I end up taking coercion, 5 years probation.
Yeah, man. Hey, man.
You know, coming on.
What you had to do, man.
Yeah.